Like, you are a very big part of this guest experience. And like, we have created a foolproof checklist for this to go off like without a hitch. I can almost always count on our cleaning review to be like a 5. I'm Jamie Inlow. I own Be Still Getaways, which is a boutique short-term rental property management and design company. We started in 2019, and I have been using Turno, formerly Turnover B&B, since the beginning. We have contracts on over 150 doors. I believe in Turno right now we have a little over 90 properties. A beautiful testimony to where Be Still Getaways began is that I was the cleaner. I cleaned all of our units and I knew exactly how I wanted it to be. As we kind of started growing and we got an additional unit, I was like, whew, I need to hire staff. And then I quickly realized, I was like, this is something that I am deeply trying to control. And this has to be very particular. And I mean, I had one unit and I was using turnover. It's very involved. And I would say this is like this is one of the things that we do best. And it's one of the things that completely differentiates us from everything else. This is not a standard clean that we are practicing at Be Still Getaways. This is like next level. Like the majority, if you pulled like the #1 word that like our guests are saying out of our reviews, it's like so clean. Space was so clean. Like I felt like I was the first one staying there. We've got one chance to make an impression on a guest. When the guest walks into this room, you need to be like, oh, it's exactly like the photos, you know? Like that's so important. We have like our base checklist, so we don't have to like recreate the wheel every time, and then we just make a copy of it and like go in. We have 200-point checklists for almost every property. And I did that with the barn from day one and photo prompted like so many photo prompts, which has saved our butts in multiple situations. But we had a guest check into a unit and claim that there was a biohazard stain on one of the duvets in the bedrooms. And I was like, I know for a fact that is absolutely not true, because my ops director was the last one to clean it, and she is like, she keeps a tight ship. And I pulled up my image from Turnover that had the picture of the duvet because I had a photo prompt from it. And I was like, well, we can escalate this to Airbnb, but I can say for a fact that there's absolutely not any type of stain on that duvet. And that was it. That squashed it. And, you know, that he was definitely trying to get money out of me for his stay. And that's happened many times that I've been able to go back to Turnover, pull the photo, speak with whoever the staff member was, whatever. I am relying on Turnover to like give me that information. Like #1 is like, we have no fires. Like we need to hear about it when it's becoming an issue, and our staff are trained to do that, which is really, they view things through a lens of like a lot of ownership. Our staff, you know, will upload photos and be like, these linens are starting to look bad, we might need to replace. We obviously have a full-time in-house maintenance team, which has been like critical, and there are constantly problems. We don't need to tell 5 people that there's a problem. Here's the protocol. You report it in Turnover. Our head of maintenance is one of our co-hosts in Turnover. He receives the problem. That's all. That's all you have to do. It's now on his to-do list, and he will check it off when he finishes it, or he'll assign it to, you know, another team member to finish it. I'm not hearing about it. I'm just seeing it get handled. And like, that is a beautiful thing when a software can create that for you. It's like, I don't want to be told that and assign it to somebody. I don't have time for that. It's impossible. And so that it just like texts straight to Bob is amazing. And he is not the most technologically savvy man, and he is on Turnover figuring it out. Our HR person pulls the report from Turnover when I approve payroll. So I like solely pull our payroll numbers from our Turnover report. That's where it's coming from. So oh my gosh, we use it for everything. It's gold. It's like we do so much project notes to each other as well. It's like, okay, I'm not going to text this person directly and tell them this. We have way too many co-hosts. We have way too many cooks in the kitchen that if like I'm only texting the cleaner to say this, I'm like disservicing everyone else. So like if I need to tell a cleaner something, I'll just pop it in the project notes and being like, I didn't really hear from this guest. maybe they didn't like check in or out, and then it's like all of our co-hosts are also able to go to the job and be like, oh, okay, someone wrote this note, I see this. It's like the first place we go. And we do our code changes through Turnover. We do everything through Turnover. And like we have leaned into software to help us scale. And like that's like the number one tip I would give to anyone wanting to scale is like there are so many resources that you can use to make your life more efficient. I have like 5 systems that I absolutely could not live without. Turnover B&B is like my first one. It's like my lifeline. I do not understand how I could do this business without it.